Working together as a team is a key ingredient in marriage mentoring. It takes a partnership, two people working in tandem. But why? Why is that important?
Well, one of the reasons...
It's important because it's actually your very presence, your interactions together as husband and wife. That's your true value to them. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, I do.
Of course you'd agree. What you say to them, the knowledge you have to impart is important. But it's your relationship itself that speaks the loudest.
That's right. It's exactly
wait a second here.
All right, this is getting ridiculous.
I think you get the point here. Let's face it. Some of us can dominate a conversation without even knowing it. And you just can't do your best work as a team that way.
Sure, it's totally natural to jump in and pass the baton back and forth, but if one spouse is constantly dominating the conversation, that will really start to have an effect on your mentorees.
Often, one spouse is more naturally talkative than the other, and that's fine. You want to be true to who you are, which brings us to one of the key components of working together as a team, and that's understanding each other's strengths.
For us as a married couple, to work as a team is critical because there are strengths that Sandra has where I'm weak, and in areas where I'm strong that she's weak, and working together as a team, knowing our roles, is really valuable as we are able to minister to other couples.
I go through the books, I read everything. I come with a little, plan of, I think this is the homework we should assign, I think this is where we're gonna go. We don't always go there, but then I'm comfortable. I have my structure. He's happy because he didn't have to go through all that to get there with me.
So she comes, gives me the digest, the executive summary, and we can work over these things. I kind of look at it and kind of go through it, and I tend to be a little bit more spontaneous than Karen, maybe just a little.
She's much better in the context of personal one-on-one, and I tend to be more theoretical in the context of the mentorees at large.
She'll ask corollary questions, and it seems that she can really bring people out and help them to express themselves.
And that obviously is built on Bruce having laid out, the principles in a very clear and effective manner.
Yeah, in our mentoring sessions, I often let Les initiate topics of conversation that might heighten anxiety. He is great at diving into the heart of a really difficult issue.
And Leslie has an amazing gift for bringing a conversation to a close in a really warm way. The point is, we know each other's strengths and we lean into them.
Which brings us to another aspect of working together as a team. It's empowering each other's voice.
If you've ever used a tuning fork, you know that it delivers a true pitch as the result of two tines vibrating together. But if you muffle either side, even a little, the note disappears. Neither tine can make the pure note on its own. Only when both vibrate together is the correct pitch heard.
I sort of feel like I need to step back and just project Joy a little bit. Here she is. There's a lot of wisdom here. Get all you can, because the time is going to be limited, I know. And so I'm most proud of some of the things that Joy can impart, and I like her to do so.
Yeah, but really, Jim, I think even as a guy, you maybe are more interested in relationships than the average guy. You like talking about relationships. You like, telling stories about what we've done. So I think as a couple, it makes sense for us mainly because of you.
So how do you make sure as marriage mentors that you're each empowering the other's voice to create just the right note? Well, one of the best ways we know is to echo each other's points and then underscore what your spouse is saying.
That's so true.
Exactly. Perfect. That's a great example. If we're mentoring a couple and it occurs to me that we've been through a similar issue, I might say to Les, I remember when you were feeling that same way a few years ago, or something like that.
Another great way to empower each other's voice is to ask each other questions, like, what do you think about what he's saying?
It's a great way to pull your spouse into the conversation, and it shows your mentorees that you really value each other's input.
The thing is, all this teamwork doesn't mean that you're always in total agreement. We're certainly not always on the same page
Absolutely
all the
not.
time. But this kind of leads us to the third component of working together as a team, embracing your differences.
That's right. You've got to be true to your own thinking and your own feelings, and you certainly don't have to stifle your opinions. In fact, it can actually be a great learning tool for your mentorees to watch you navigate your differences.
I called Jim midway through the day and I said, all right, Jim, it's marriage mentoring night. Are we going to resolve this or not? And We talked about the fact that, okay, well, if we don't get it resolved, let's just talk about arguing that night and show them this tool that, when we're so mad at each other that we can hardly be civil, let's kind of show them that tool that we have learned how to use.
There's been more than one time when I've said, "Oh, really? Can you tell me more about that?" And so they discover that it's an ongoing process and that we're continuing to be sharpened.
Bringing up differences that would surprise or even threaten your partner is definitely not appropriate. But it is a wonderful thing to be able to show your mentorees that you can embrace the differences that you've learned to manage and live with.
I believe that working as a team involves a lot of compromise, especially when you have backgrounds. You're coming from different perspectives. Your backgrounds are different.
Yeah, and we're very different, that's for sure. I come from a military family to a certain degree. My dad was very rigid, strict. Sandra, a little bit different. And so, one of the keys for us, honestly, has been not feeling that because you're different, it's wrong.
Now, I'm a little volatile here and there. I get,
Oh, no, really?
yeah, I can get fired up. I attribute it all to football, but I just get excitable, and sometimes joy helps me stay a little more even.
Now, since you're interested in serving as marriage mentors, you're probably already pretty good at working together as a team.
And as your mentorees watch you, as they observe that natural teamwork between you, it's that more than nearly anything else that will make an impact on them as a couple.